Hello viewers of Kritika's Vision, welcome to yet another video of my interesting lecture history series. Today we will be doing about NAM. The full form of this word is non-aligned movement. Yes, you might have heard about this movement in my video on Second World War. That is, after the Second World War ended, there was a phase when there was Cold War between USSR and US going on. Now these two countries again, because they had become superpower, there were other countries of the world which were taking the sides of either of these power blocks, and hence the world would have divided into two power blocks and would have led to World War III. Now, there were few developing nations of the world, or those were not independent at that time, struggling for the independence, or newly independent countries. They felt that they shouldn't be a part of this mad race or dividing the world again into two halves and leading to another big war. Hence, they chose the path of non-alignment and started non-aligned movement. That is, they will not choose any of the power block, rather they will be neutral to both of them, take support of both of them, and correct and support them whenever it's needed. Okay, so right now first we'll do the causes that led to the non-aligned movement formation. First is reaction against Cold War tension and the system of military alliances. So as I told you, that the concept of non-aligned emerged as a reaction against the system of military alliances. It was a natural consequence of Cold War between two power blocks. Second is an assertion of the national independence. Now, freedom movements of Asian and African countries were marked by intense nationalism. To preserve their freedom, these countries adopted a policy of keeping out of alliances in general and military pact in particular. Economic development. All countries of Asia and Africa were underdeveloped. They needed financial and technical assistance from both these power blocks headed by US and USSR. Hence, they wanted to take a neutral, they wanted to not be a part of any such mad race of dividing the world. Need for peace. The most important factor was a need for peace, without which there would have been no real development. So Afro-Asian nations looked at arms race as dangerous for world peace. Hence, at the same time, they realized that they would be strengthening UNO by being non-aligned to both the power blocks. Now we'll do the definition of NAM. Now, the non-aligned nations aimed at keeping away from the Cold War, and non-aligned movement means that nations which are non-aligned judge each issue on its merit and do not toe the line of one or other superpower. Okay, so as Jawaharlal Nehru said, that non-alignment doesn't mean passivity of mind or action. Rather, it is not isolationism. Hence, a policy of aloofness in international politics. On the other hand, it is about trying to strengthening peace and friendship within all the nations. So meaning of non-aligned movement is basically this only. Non-aligned movement originated in the Bandung Conference in 1955, organized to bring together the leaders of African and Asian states whose problems were almost alike. The non-aligned leaders sought an identity separate from the two power blocks, headed by the capitalist America and communist Russia. Now, the first summit of non-aligned nations was held at Belgrade in 1961. The architects or the founding fathers of NAM are as follows: Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Marshal Joseph Tito of erstwhile Yugoslavia, Abdel Nasser of Egypt, and President Sukarno of Indonesia. So that's all for today's lecture. Please stay tuned to more such lecture and be part of my lecture series. Thank you for subscribing. Do like and share.